Shot session.
At least the solutions that I offer are something called living benefits too.
Oh, okay.
So living benefits are really cool because you don't have to access them if you pass away. So say someone gets cancer, someone has a heart attack, right? These are things that come on. We can't prepare for those things.
Right.
You could say, oh yeah, okay, he was a little heavy set, he ate poorly, but I know some runners that have had heart attacks. Like very healthy people, right? We don't know what's going on inside, right? So the living benefits allow you to access a portion of that full death benefit in advance without having to pay it back.
Okay.
And you can use it for whatever, right? If you, let's say, are in a situation where, you know, you were in a coma, you're not mobile, you need maybe some equipment to now move you and transport you because you no longer have the use of your legs, right? You could utilize that funding to pay for a ramp, pay for a new vehicle, that transport. I mean, the cool thing is while you need it for some medical issue, like what you use it for
it's all up to you. It's not like you're going to say specifically for this.
No, which is very different than like medical. I mean, medical, you got to pay for the medical stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's really, it's a very cool option. I do wish my mother had, because I think that would have maybe given us, you know, I always thought like, okay, if I know I'm going to pass away, I want to go somewhere warm. I do not want to be, I love Chicago, I'm a Chicago girl to the day I die, but I want to be somewhere beachy, somewhere palmy.
Enjoying your day.
And smelling the salt water and just like letting, you know what I mean? And I know there's some cases where people have used the living benefits check to take one final big trip with their family. Yeah. Right? Because terminal illness looks different for everybody.
Yeah.
And my mother, it happened very quickly from when she found out till when she passed. With some, I mean, live, you know, a year. And so that you also think you cannot work. You cannot pay your bills, right? And people get very comfortable with the benefits they get at work as employees. And I think they're great. I'm not knocking it. But in order to have those benefits, you have to work. So if you're not working, you don't have those benefits.
It's like I saw some on there, they were like, well, it had nothing to do with life insurance. It had something to do with taxes, like zero pay, zero this, but you want me to work magic. So it's like they don't have that much income. They want you to do something that you can't do.
Right.
You know?
You're like, I don't know, you know? And that's just, I mean, that's what it is, right? And so I think employee sponsored like life insurance is great, but for me, it's just a cherry on top. Right? Because you can't control that. If you leave your job, it's not portable, meaning you can't take it with you. And if you can,
it's limited, if anything.
But that $5 you were paying every check goes to like $150, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute.
What just happened?
Right? Because what they do in those senses, they kind of pull everybody together. So they're gonna take the youngest, healthiest person, and the oldest, maybe not as healthy, and they kind of pull it together, right? When you're on your own, all life insurance is going to be based on your age and health, right? And so that's why for me it's so critical, you know, for children to have it, right? Not because you envision anything bad happening, but
you want to make sure
that they have it and they're locked, God forbid, and they're locked into I'm never going to pay when my son pays, ever. Like, you know what I mean? He was 2 when he had it. That's like primo time because he's young and he's healthy, right? And you don't want to think you're going to use it, but you know, my nephew passed away of cancer too, right? And he was 11. Thank you. And yeah, he was young, right? And it's the worst thing that I know my sister and my brother-in-law could go through, but they had that. And so now for them with their, you know, with my niece and, you know, my nephew who was just born, they don't even second think about it.
They're already on it.
They're already on it. And obviously it's not because, you know, but it's the preventative, right? Why we have house insurance, why we have car insurance, it's the preventative. And, you know, it's doing other benefits. And so that's the term. But when you look at permanent, they have all different...
Whole life you're paying into it, right?
Yeah. So the first kind of version of a permanent plan was called the whole life.
Oh,
And that's
look at me
literally.
acting like
Look
I know.
at you.
I said-
You know
I said
everything.
something, but I didn't really know what I was saying.
Man, look at where's your book? You got a book under there. You're like
My notes. I'm Googling stuff over here. Hold on.
oh man, the agents acknowledge. But yeah, so it's your whole life.
Shot session. It's a shot session.